The term theodicy was coined by the German philosopher Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz in his work, Essay on the Goodness of God, the Freedom of Man and the Origin of Evil, published in 1710. The word theodicy is formed from the Greek theos, which means God, and dike, which means righteousness, and can be translated as justification of God. Although the term theodicy was coined by Leibniz, the problem of theodicy and the question of how to reconcile the existence of an all-powerful and benevolent God with the existence of evil in the world had been discussed by philosophers and theologians long before Leibniz. However, it was Leibniz who consolidated the discussion of theodicy as an area of study in philosophy, and the term theodicy became a common term to refer to this issue. Theodicy is the branch of philosophy that seeks to answer an important question: how to reconcile the existence of an all-powerful, benevolent and omniscient God with the existence of evil and suffering in the world. In other words, if God is all-powerful and benevolent, why does he allow evil and suffering to exist? The issue of theodicy is complex and has been debated by philosophers and theologians for centuries. The most common approach involves looking for solutions to the problem of evil, which can be divided into two main categories: defense theodicies, arguments that try to show that the existence of evil is compatible with the existence of an all-powerful and benevolent God. These arguments usually focus on showing that evil can have a justifiable purpose or that the existence of evil is necessary for the greater good. Solution theodicies, arguments that attempt to explain how evil can be eliminated or reduced, usually arguing that responsibility for evil is largely human and that changing human behavior can significantly reduce evil in the world. Theodicy continues to be an important topic in philosophy and theology, with various approaches being developed over the years. Discussions of theodicy have implications not only for understanding the nature of God, but also for ethics and for understanding human nature and suffering. The issue of theodicy has been addressed by philosophers and theologians in various cultures and historical periods over the centuries. Some important references on theodicy in the world include ancient Greek philosophy, which offered several responses to the question of evil, including the argument that evil is an illusion, the argument that evil is necessary for good, and the argument that evil is caused by ignorance or for lack of wisdom. The Book of Job in the Old Testament of the Bible, which deals with the issue of suffering and injustice in the life of a righteous man. The book questions the notion that suffering is a punishment for sin and suggests that suffering may have a divine purpose that transcends human understanding. Christian philosopher St. Augustine, who argued that evil is the absence of good and that the responsibility for evil lies with human choices and the human will. Medieval Jewish philosopher Maimonides, who argued that evil is necessary to maintain moral order and that pain and suffering can serve an educational purpose. German philosopher Immanuel Kant, who argued that the problem of theodicy is insoluble and that we must accept the existence of evil as an inscrutable mystery. French philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre, who argued that evil is an inevitable consequence of human freedom and that the only solution to the problem of theodicy is acceptance of individual responsibility for evil. These are just a few of the many important references to theodicy around the world that continue to be studied and debated by philosophers and theologians to this day.